I'm Jackson Moran, and I'm going to be asking Miss Anntwanique Edwards about her book, Where's Thy Faith, and what she does. What do you do?
Okay. Well, let me start off and talk a little bit about myself first. I work for the school system, as you know. I'm an assistant principal, and I just started at a new alternative school this summer. And also, I preach the gospel of Jesus Christ everywhere that I go. And so I really just like working with young people and doing a lot of great things in ministry and in the school system. I've also been a guidance counselor. I worked as a mental health counselor. And so everything I've done in my life has really been revolved around young people. So that kind of leads to Where is Thy Faith? So I wrote this book for youth and young adults, people such as yourself, a lot of kids who are in middle school, high school, and even college. Because my thought was that many of the young people today have a tendency to struggle with different things, and they don't really know how to deal with it, and they really struggle with this idea of faith. You know how you go to church and everybody's talking to you, you're like, Jackson, you know, just have some faith, you'll be all right. And you're like, okay, what exactly does that mean? How do I hold on to faith, you know, and how do I do that? And I have a lot of hard stuff going on in my mind, and I don't know really what to do. That's pretty much what this book talks about. It explains what faith is. I actually open up in the book talking about what my definition of faith has been. Then it changes a little bit after that, because I realized that what I thought faith was isn't exactly what it really is.
Tell us which character resonated with you and why.
Wow. Okay, so even as I was writing the book, I have my favorite character. I was telling people who are really close to me that I love this character in the book, not because I even identify with it for myself. I just think the story is great. You know, I'm biased in that way. But I think that if people get the book and they read about Mason, they will know that it's the favorite character that I have in the book. He goes through some incredible struggles, and his family is in ministry. And he begins to I think have a hard time because he idolizes his father, who's a pastor. And because his dad is a pastor, he believes that his father should be a great example for him. He's been in ministry all this time. And he's a young man who is in school, and he's like trying to share the word and all these kind of things. And his father does something that really just is not good. It is not the example that a leader should set. And he more or less keeps some secrets from his family or from his congregation. And they come out, like all things we do in the dark. It comes to light one day. And when it comes to light, it breaks his son's heart. And his son is not really sure what to do. If you read the story, you realize there's a lot of twists and turns. And Mason is having to make some huge decisions. He has the ability really to impact somebody's life in a way that most of us never will be able to. But he has to make a decision about whether he wants to do that, because his whole foundation is literally shifted. It's almost like it's shattered, because he's like, my daddy is not who I thought he was. But in that, I think it's so important, or why it stands with me, is because I spend so much time in church. I spend so much time talking about the word and seeing how people put leaders up on pedestals, and they want to be like them, and they often forget that leaders are just people, and they easily make the same kind of mistakes that everybody else does.
Where can I get a hold of this book?
Authorhouse.com. They're the publishers of the book. Also, it is provided online through Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. All of those book retailers have the book available. And it is available in softcover, hardcover, and ebook format for all those people who are technologically savvy and have e-readers and stuff. All proceeds that come from the purchase of Daddy, Where Are You? And Where is Thy Faith? Go to Divine Ministry Incorporated, which is a nonprofit 501c3 organization, which we focus on specifically helping our community and helping some of our women and youth who are in need. They might be dealing with difficult situations. And it also provides scholarships for young people who are preparing to go to college and children who are in college as a result of writing essays. And so we would thank you so much if you would be a blessing to someone by purchasing a book. not only to give the book, if you would, to someone and be a blessing to them that way, but to know that the money then spent on it also goes to bless those in the community.